Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another fun-filled week of Favorite Cheese. Thank you all for reaching out and continuing to listen and partake in this crazy world that we're building together.
It feels like a robot is saying it. I also agree.
This is ChatGB Delman.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Delman is actually on the Maldives right now.
On the Maldives?
But he has this robot who is co-hosting.
No, Delman is not on the Maldives right now.
He's on them.
He's on something.
Hey guys, I'm on Maldives right now.
Oh my god, I'm on Maldives.
You guys, what are you on? That sounds crazy.
That's
Molly's?
awesome. Good for you.
Oh, I'm on Maldives. It's island time where I'm at. Just wanted to say thank you to everyone for continuing to reach out. It's been awesome. And before we hop in, I just want to say thank you to Yen, to Kath. This is what they wrote. Zach K, Sarah P, Jade, G-Paw Bill. I think that's like Grandpa Bill.
G-Paw Bill is great.
Yeah.
I love G-Paw
Claire.
Bill.
And James Taylor.
The James Taylor.
He's seen fire and he's seen wine, but he loves favorite cheese, baby.
I think it's fire and rain. Did you think it was
I've
fire
seen
and
fire
wine?
and I've seen wine.
It's fire and rain.
I know, but I like wine better.
Who is talking about fire and wine?
Who is it? Me and my friends are talking about fire and wine.
You're talking about fire and wine.
But anyways, those names I just mentioned, thank you for your donations.
So lovely, so nice.
They're awesome. It just makes it so nice and helps us keep going. We're gonna we just finally crossed the threshold to buy the new equipment for another guest. Now we can have three of them. So thank you all very much. And if you're like, how do I donate? We have the link in the bio. We also have on our link tree, or you can just send a PayPal of whatever you want to cheese@favoritecheese.com.
Cheese@favoritecheese.com.
Yeah. That's it. That's how we're doing it right now. But yeah, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're learning and we're growing. And it's only been 30 episodes, which feels like a lot because it has been a lot of work on this end.
Sure.
Not in a bad way, but it is. But like when you actually look at some of these podcasts, that are huge, they're like,
oh, I know. They're
welcome back to episode 897. And I'm like, okay, so 30 is not a lot. Yeah.
No, we just listened to one last night and it was like on 806. And I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, we're doing a weekly one, which is still a lot. Yeah. So 52 weeks in a year. Okay, they've been doing it for a minute.
They've been doing it for
so
their whole
anyways,
life.
We'll be able to make our living off of this podcast in 9 years. So
I'm so excited about it. I really am.
When we're all living in our space pods.
Oh, my space pod is going to be so full of cheese, baby.
Oh, my God. We might suffocate each other in that pod.
Yeah,
with the
you're going to be a fart monster in that pod. That
It'll
pod
be
is
a biodome for sure.
No one's coming over to our pod.
Yeah.
I'm so sad about it.
So how was your week? I know mine was...
I was with you.
Yeah, I know. But we were together, but we were on our own missions,
That's fair.
I was finishing up some projects, changing some ceiling fans and some lights and finishing my script, and I've just been cranking, not focusing on what actually pays the bills, but going to do what I want to do, and it felt really good.
I do think that's always a really funny thing when you have work to do and you're like, I'm going to do everything else but that. Because we've all done that where you're like, it's literally procrastination. And it's
not for me though, because I hear you and I've been in the procrastination world. But for this one, it was like, I'd go to therapy and I'd constantly be like, all I want to do is like, make the podcast and write and perform and do all this stuff.
Why? Do you turn into a surfer man when you go to therapy?
Yeah, it's the only way I can express myself.
If I'm
doing it on my own, I can't do it. But I'm like,
okay.
All right, today,
hey, bro. And
Dr. C, I'm going to be this guy.
She's like, cool.
So I was getting barreled pretty hard by my family and my responsibilities, but I surfed down that way. Yeah, she's like, what is this?
What is wrong
I do
with
use
you?
a lot of analogies that I make up on the spot, and sometimes she'll be like, huh, and some of them she'll be like, that one's pretty good. And I'll keep them.
It's like a surf barrel. She's like, it's fine. You don't need to do that.
Then the foam ball. She's like, this is very specific and things I don't understand. No, But for her, I'm constantly being like, I want to focus on, like, I have a few passion projects and we have other ones in the works. And I feel like I can't give them the effort they need because I got to do the stuff that pays the bills. And especially while the actors and writers are on strike, that part's like, okay, it's all web design right now.
All right.
And so it's been nice, but I just decided to focus on the script and the podcast and the house. And it's felt really good mentally. But now I'm like, okay, we have half the month to catch up on the rest of the work. So luckily, we got half the month.
Yeah, that's the truth of it, huh?
Yeah,
that is the truth.
We're going from fun time.
No, now it's work
to
time.
work time.
Work time
As Karl Marx used to say, good job is an oxymoron.
He also used to say, hey, can I get a side of queso with that? I'm a big queso guy.
And then they're like, only if we can all get a side of queso.
And he's like,
Chuck, there's no way everyone can get a side of queso. If only Elon Musk would share some of that queso, we could all have a side of queso.
He's going to monetize that queso.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
He's going to send that queso to Mars.
Send that queso to Mars. That's what's going to happen.
Hey, Elon, we could use some of that queso here.
Hey, Elon, spread the queso, baby.
I don't know what they do in the diamond mines of South Africa, but here we share that queso.
We share that queso, okay? Queso for the table, all right?
Oh my God, that happened the other day. Like, it was Father's Day. We have like a family friend staying with us. He's super sweet, super nice.
Yeah.
He's also from like the same area where my mom and her family are from, and it's just so interesting because like no one has any. My parents are very particular in what they do, but like no one has. It's like, okay, so he was trying to be nice. I bought the first round of beers. He just bought like a round of tacos for the table.
Sure.
And just like put it in front of us.
But didn't anticipate that like the table is a pretty persnickety table that was like, what do we do with this?
Yeah, and it was just so funny because he's like, yeah, just have some tacos if you want them. And like I grabbed part and my dad and my mom were like,
what are we doing?
How
are we doing this?
Okay, so
what
who
is divvied up? Who gets
should I cut?
What?
Okay, did you ask
for
if he
the
had
table?
a knife? And then,
I don't want any of.
And then he's like, they didn't have any knives, and my mom's like, I told you should have brought a knife to my dad. And I'm like, what is this? Like, what do you mean you told? Like, I told you we need to carry a fork and knife with it. And I was like, whoa.
We're at the place. I don't know if I'm at that place to carry a fork and knife with us, but I think I'm ready.
I was already there, and then I went to the airport one time, and the guy's
there
like,
it is.
Contraband! And he like took the fork. I'm like, it's a fork and a knife. He's like, contraband.
Could you imagine, like, they're like, oh, an entire plane taken down by a picnic fork and a picnic knife.
Yeah, but on the other end, have you seen what I can do with a picnic fork?
No, I haven't.
I have pounded a whole thing of chili. And
with a knife?
Times were hard.
Not
one bean at a time.
This is not a brag.
I could take down a plane.
I do have a weird, I don't think I've said it before, but like I had an antique knife that was like belonged to like my grandmother. It was like on a chain. Like back in the day, they used to wear like cute little pocket knives on a chain.
Sterling silver pocket knife that was rusty and looked cool.
Could have done nothing.
But couldn't even cut.
Yeah. Can't cut anything with it. But I had it on a chain and they were like, yeah, you're going to have to get rid of that. And I was like, it's like a family heirloom. And they were like, no, you're going to have to get rid of that. And then I remember literally like going into the bathroom and there's a lip under the sink. Yeah. And I went in there and I hid the knife. Yeah. And then 3 days later came back and got my antique knife. Yeah. Just so you know. I mean, I know that's the way. If you have any contraband.
I think the FBI's at the door.
Pop it at. No.
Yeah, it's an antique knife.
Yeah, pop it underneath the lips of this. I mean, literally, they didn't check it at all. But I literally just went in there and I like, shoved it in the corner.
Horrifying.
It is horrifying, but also at the same time, if you have something you love, also this is a very female problem, or well, not really, but this is a very like. Weird problem. But I remember we were in Ireland and I had very expensive skincare and they were like, yeah, you're going to have to throw that out. And I was like, excuse me? Yeah. And they were like, yeah, it's got to go because we only do 2 ounces here. Yeah. And I remember just slathering my body in it. I literally like emptied out everything else and put everything else. I took very expensive
just
stuff and put it
didn't even understand what they were saying because I just like blacked out and I just like moved forward. And then when I got there, I realized like all of the liquid was still.
Fine.
Yeah, no,
I know.
No, because she was saying it and I was like, I'm gonna do the classic like. I'm
a big dummy.
Yeah,
Don't even look at me, man.
And then she like looked right at me and said something in Irish, and I just like smiled and nodded.
Irish is English, Cheddar.
I was wondering how I understood it so well. I'd been studying.
Okay. Look, we gotta.
Well, I don't know what I was saying back to them, but sure.
They're like, this idiot in his surfer dialect.
I'm like, oh yeah,
like, oh.
I was doing
No.
Swedish Chef to them, and they're like, that's not even.
This guy's an asshole. This guy's an asshole.
All right, I'm not gonna deal with it. No, I'm just kidding. I was speaking Irish back, but
English.
Well, I don't think the Irish people or the Americans agree. I'm not giving the British credit anymore. Not my language.
I gotta get out. I don't know how.
I speak American. Okay.
I have to get out. Do you have a camembert or a fondue?
My fondue is that for Father's Day, like he's finally going traveling. Sure. They set like a European vacation, and I helped them book it. And like, you know, my mom has been before, but my dad, he's only been to like the UK once, you know, and he came back wearing one of those Newsies hats.
Yeah, that was great.
That like my mom cleverly burned him when he was wearing it.
Yeah, he had like a Newsies hat, and he was like, "How do you think of my Scottish hat? What do you think of my Scottish hat?"
And my mom's like, "He bought it in the airport on the way out."
Like, don't even. He bought it at the airport.
Yeah, like
she's so mad.
But it's perfect because it's like she probably was like, "Do it the whole time they were there, like to wear it," and he just wouldn't do it, and then he bought it on the way home.
And she's like, "We had 5 other really cool ones."
Yeah, he's gonna wear it here next to his friends now because he's well traveled, but he wouldn't do it in the wild. No, and after that burn, you wouldn't either.
I wouldn't either. I would not.
It's funny though. Like you only need one of those burns from your friends, and it's all ruined. Like,
oh yeah.
I went to freaking Oktoberfest in Munich. I had the lederhosen. I got them from this lederhosen maker. It's this amazing story. I loved every moment of it. I loved wearing the lederhosen, and then we come back and we're in the U.S. and my friends and I. The reason why like I went to Munich in the first place, we go to this like Oktoberfest in Orange County.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing the lederhosen because and like all the old dudes are like, "What's up?" But my friends were like, "Look at this idiot.
The fuck are you wearing?"
Yeah. And I was
Take it off your body now, you fool.
Yeah. And I was like, "But this is the traditional." And they're like,
"Wait a minute.
Yeah, I got him in Germany." And they're like, "You look like an idiot."
Meanwhile, they're wearing like Monster t-shirts and backwards hat and Oakleys, and you're I'm not gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
Hey,
but it still hurts.
Do you think that the lederhosen still?
I'm gonna give it a go. The leather stretches. Like skin. Leather
stretches, honey.
I might throw them on right after.
I'm picturing you going through your day just trying to stretch out those lederhosen.
Gotta give me a 1-2.
Just doing errands, getting the car washed.
Wear the lederhosen, play the bagpipes, just walk around, like really confuse people. I want to blend culture. Well, because you shouldn't be doing that. Those are two different things.
That's fair.
Southern.
They're just going to chalk you up to like, they're like, oh, another weirdo in LA.
Just trying to make it.
He's just trying to make it. Oh, yeah. You don't know lederhosen bagpipe guy?
Yeah.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah. Well,
I really am excited to see you just slapping on those lederhosen and stretching them out to your own.
I'm going to slamp them out.
I think you have to do a little, calisthenics.
My sister's going to Munich and she's like, "Can I wear them?" And I'm like, "Sadly, probably." You know, like when I bought them, I was probably that size.
Your size. Yeah.
Might look good. I mean, they might make fun of you because women wear something else, but progressive.
But you know what?
Let's
That's
go
fine.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my lederhosen missed R.I.P.
They're
But
in our closet.
So my dad is going to Europe, and I helped him book some trips, and I'm like telling him how to do it, and yada yada. And it's so funny, like my dad's biggest fear is like that they won't speak English, and I'm like, well, they don't speak English as their first language, but they're gonna speak English, But I've been able to help him out.
Someone is going to.
Yeah. So for Father's Day, like I got him. The universal plug that goes into the wall. And I got him like some Apple AirTags, and I got him some like luggage.
Like a passport holder.
And one of those portable things that charges your phone.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because he's like, wow. Like for him, I didn't even know you could do this stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, you were going to Europe. You've done all this research. And were you going to print out maps? And yeah, no AirTags, no charging. Like, how are you going to plug in your phone to thing?
Figure it out. It would have been a nightmare.
where'd you find all this stuff? I'm like, Marshall's. Honestly. Like Ross, like it's not
a different place.
He loved it more than a lot of the other stuff I've done in the past that I've logged hours into. This one, he's like...
Yeah, you've done a lot of, like, really deep, heartfelt gifts that he's like, all right. Yeah. And then you get him, like, a universal plug for traveling, and he's like, whoa.
That's my son. He's a world traveler.
Guy. Good guy. You know, he's come a long way. He used to give me thoughtful gifts. You're like, oh, all right.
But I am... fondue that he enjoyed those gifts and that he's excited to travel, and like
I am excited too. I feel like it's gonna either go one of two ways. Either he's gonna like get the bug and be so excited and then be like, we're planning all these places next, or he's gonna be like, I did it, Judy, have a great time. Or like, you know, he's gonna be like, I did it, and now he's gonna let your mom go have like a bunch of other traveling times. I don't know.
It just depends.
It does. It really depends.
And that's kind of what I was saying last time about when we went to Chicago. Like, I did a lot of the work behind the scenes to make it flawless.
What you did is called invisible labor.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Like, you want to be thanked. And I finally did get, like, a thank you, but it was, like, weeks later because I think they were sitting around and they're like, how did all that food arrive? And how did, you know, like, and like, who did
all the ordering? And we're like,
and who did this and who made this and who drove it? Oh,
when did we get there?
Yeah,
why am I in this handbasket?
But there's always someone like that. Like when I used to first go camping, and like when I first took you to Burning Man, I'm like, here's a can.
Oh my God.
We put it on the roof of the truck. The sun heats it up.
Yeah. And I was like, this is a fucking nightmare.
And you're like, I would kill for an avocado. I'm like, we don't do that. But if you want to chew on some ice, I have some.
But we're always those friends camping now.
Well, now like you're so good at it that like we've gotten very good at it. So when our friends show up to camp, it's like, there's the shower. There's the freezer. Yeah, there's the
You're
whatever.
right. We literally we have 2 separate coolers, one for drinks, one for this. I've literally meal prepped 5 different meals for 8 different people. Yeah. And then also have everything's planned out or mapped out or all these different journeys.
So our friends will come and they're like, we love camping.
I'm like, yeah, you do now. I've set up a 4 Seasons in the middle of the forest.
And I told us what we're going to do. I have stories prepared for the fire. Yeah. You know,
we have games on this day, a hike on this day.
Now that I think about it, our friends are nice, but we should be charging them.
We should be charging
$500
Also,
ahead.
we were the ones that were like, you have to bring a bike. Like, that's a necessary thing. And they were like, I don't know. And we're like, if you don't, you're not coming.
Yeah. It was and then meanwhile, all of us on bikes riding through Yosemite, howling at the moon together. And we're like, this is amazing. And they're like, I told you.
No.
Yeah. So anywho.
You're right. We should charge.
I'm glad I hooked my parents up, but the only thing that could be bad is if they let their anxiety get the best of them. When I travel, the goal of day 1 and day 2 is get lost. Don't even look at the map. Yeah. Just be like, let's head over and only look at the map to kind of know where I'm going.
Your bearings, yeah.
Yeah, and then just get lost and be like, what was that? Where did we stumble?
What was the gelato place that we ate
You never want to just get there and be like, all right, now we start. What's happening? Because then it's like, we didn't get to everything. You're setting yourself up.
Wanted to see the basilica.
yeah, exactly. You're like, it's all right, man.
I'm so sorry.
So I'm very excited for them, and hopefully they know how to use the air tags. And,
that's what I was. You were pitching all these different high tech things, and I was like, maybe we just get them a portable phone charger. I was like, you're going way too hard.
Wow.
Way too hard. I think it's a camembert. It is a camembert, I think. Yeah. It's similar. We helped your great aunt, who's in her 80s.
Yeah.
But she's with it, man. She's
with it in terms of the news and the trends.
Oh, she's with it on a lot of things. But she's also just a sweetie.
Yeah.
And so she needed a new fridge, so we took her to Home Depot. And okay, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to have a weird platform, but I've watched it happen. I've watched it happen with my parents. I've watched it happen with a lot of people. But we went to AT&T with her one time and I watched this guy try and upsell her with a bunch of stuff. And you were there being like, nope.
After she would come to me, ask me questions, and then she'd be like, well, I paid the Geek Squad $10,000, or whatever. And no geeks showed up.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah. And I was like, all right. And then I fixed it. And she's like, I should just pay. And I'm like, what are you paying for? And then I was like, if you need anything, just let me know.
Yeah, we're just gonna come with you. I've just decided that we're just gonna come with you.
When I go to the Apple store and I'm talking to the Mac geniuses, I normally know about the same or more.
No, you usually know more.
So I'm good to go. And yeah, we show up to the AT&T store, and this Slick Willie guy is like, "Hey, Sandra, welcome." And then he sees me, and he's like, "Oh, who's this?" And then
he was like ready to sell her everything that she did not need. And she doesn't need it. She's like 80, and she was like, "I just want my iPad to have bigger text."
Yeah.
And he's like,
"We're gonna have to buy a bigger screen."
I know. He's like, "I want to invest in an AT&T store," and she's like, "No, I don't know."
So now we show up with her, and they realize pretty quickly, like, they're not gonna. I'm like, "This is what we want. This is what we need."
Literally.
And we took her to Home Depot because she needed a new fridge because her 35-year-old fridge has finally kicked it.
She was shocked, and none of us were. We're like, 35 years?
Yeah.
No, but so it was just my camembert about it was that I watched the guy literally be like, "Hey, you're gonna need this like extra warranty thing for this much money. This much money, you're gonna need it." And then she's like, "Well, I don't know. What do you think?" And I'm like, "No, like they're bamboozling you, you know." And everything we did, I was like doing math on it. I was like, "No, like if you need a new this, you're just gonna buy a new this, and like if you need a new this, by the time this warranty's up, and then." He's like, "Yeah, you just call this number, and then you're going to call this number, and then you're going to call this number." And she's like, "No, I don't think so." And it was absolutely insane just watching this man literally be like...
But it's so funny now that we're there with her, they like look at us and like they know that they're not going to get away with it.
They really do.
And I don't know if they're getting commissions on these sales
or
what.
Of course they are.
Sure, but like it still seems weird, you know, to do that to someone. Like I would know... that like sometimes you go there and they're like, "Listen, the warranty's not worth it," or like sometimes like a TV or something. Like our friend Cyrus, he buys a lot from Best Buy. He'll be like, if you buy a TV or something, like the Best Buy one is worth it.
Yeah, because like some of them break, some of them this, but it was just a very weird world watching him literally be like, "You need you need these things." And I was like, "No, she doesn't. Like, leave her alone. She doesn't need it." And then the funniest part was that he was like, "Oh, well, you don't want to pay $20 for installation." And I was like, "That's the only thing she needs.
She's not going to install it.
She's 80. She's not going to install her own fridge.
Not going to just drop it off and go."
She's like, "Hold on, I'll just push this thing." No, it was one of those things where I felt very like protective, but I also was immediately like, "Listen, buddy, this isn't going to happen." And then I thought to myself, I was like, maybe I need to like put myself on TaskRabbit and be like, "Are you elderly?
Yeah, I know.
Are you going to get taken advantage?
Do you need someone who knows what they're doing?
Yeah, do you need like a tech person or just someone that can like..."
Yeah.
Because even like...
That was my idea, was to make like a tech liaison.
I'm telling you.
Where it's like, I can do basic installations, but it's like, I will make sure you're not getting ripped off, not upsold, and you're getting exactly what you want.
Because there was also things that he was like circularly talking, and I was getting confused. So I was like, "Hey, you need to like," because she just was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Hey, what are you trying to say?"
Because we already knew. We showed up, we're like, this model number, this make. He's like, "Well, how about this one? It has a..."
No, we already did the math. We already did all the measuring.
This one will keep your celery.
I don't give a shit. Move on, man. And it was like a very weird thing that I just watched.
But it is Home Depot. I mean, like, my old roommate used to be a manager at Home Depot. Yeah. And that guy knew less about anything than anyone ever.
You mean like as far as like construction and maintenance?
He didn't even know how to change a light bulb,
yeah.
honestly. He would change it with it on. Like, he's just like a moron. And we would constantly be like, "Dave, how do you work at Home Depot? You don't know anything." And he'd be like, "Oh," like, he would laugh
to the
about
other
it.
note of it, I had a friend she was a stage manager for like all of the shows. And then she was like, "I think I'm just going to go like get a little summer gig at Home Depot." And she was so violently competent that in 2 months she was the manager of the store.
I'm the mayor of the store? You're like, "What?" I didn't even know they
got a job. And then she's like, "I've gotten 3 promotions in the last 2 months." Because they were just like, "You know how to wield a hammer? Get her in there."
It is crazy. That's why you almost want to pay extra money to go to like an Osh or something.
Well, they're all the same.
No, I know, but like some of the mom and pop ones, they actually know.
That's what I want to go to. I want to go to like Henkel and Fonk, and then
I literally like came to one of these stores. I can't even remember what it was, but it wasn't complicated.
Sure.
And I'm like, "Hey, I'm just looking for this," and the kid looked at it and looked at me, and then like looked at this guy. And was like, "I've never seen one of those before." And I was like,
"What was it?"
It was like literally like, it was like the thing that like cranks your window open, like a crank. Yeah. And I was like, "I just need to match the one I have. Just tell me what the aisle is." And he's like,
These don't exist anymore.
Yeah, and they did. I found them. like he told me this aisle. He's like, it's definitely going to be there. It wasn't there. I found it somewhere else. And then I came back and I told him what aisle it was, and he looked at me like, I don't give a shit,
well,
man.
It's that old like Parks and Rec thing. Remember when like Nick Offerman walks in and he's like, hey, can I help you? And he's like, I know more than you.
It's like, true. It's true. I end up. It's funny. I sometimes try and not talk at the Home Depot because like I'll ask a question, they'll be completely wrong. I'll inform them on how electricity actually works. And then
no one is asking you to inform people how electricity works.
No, the people that work there should not be saying things that they're saying sometimes.
Sure.
And then it's funny because they're like, oh, and then they just leave. And then I'm not kidding you, like everyone else in the aisle will come up to me and they're like, hey, do you know how to...
the 120 volts?
And I'll be like, actually, you're going to want to use some solder on that. If you're using it in a car, a lot of movement is going to happen.
God.
You don't wanna, but these are good.
Do you want a job? You're like, I don't. I'm sorry. I already work at the Apple bar.
I'm just looking for this nipple. And they're like, what? Not that kind of nipple.
Is that what it's called?
They have, there's male parts, there's female parts, there's nipples.
Everything is very Freudian at the Home
Well,
Depot.
you can't just put two female parts together or it's not going to connect.
Listen, Dad, I promise you can.
Listen, these are not non-binary. These are binary. It's 1 and 0. These are machines.
This is machines.
Anyways, I was so happy. And it was so funny because then I get home and my aunt's like, how much money do you want? I'm like, none. That's the whole purpose. Like, I want to help you.
Just be safe with your purchases.
So it's been a nice week helping my dad and my aunt and my mom and everyone else with all their technology woes.
This is what happens to you often. We go somewhere and then someone immediately hands you a phone and is like, fix this.
I show up at your parents' house and they get in a line holding their equipment. Like your dad will have his MacBook Air. Your mom will have her MacBook. And then I'll do like one MacBook Air fix and then he'll get in the back of the line and then he'll pull his phone out. And then your mom will be like, Dale, I just feel so bad that anyways, if you could just fix that up right there.
But your mom does the same thing. It's always like a funny...
Well, my mom deserves it because like my mom put up with like changing my diaper for my whole life and like put up with a bunch of shit. Like my mom like deserves it because she put up with a lot. She went to a lot of games, she raised me. Sure. So it's like I got to pay back the favor. It's just nice to be able to help people out. And it's funny too because they're like, now how did you learn this stuff? And I'm like, I honestly have no clue.
I don't know. I just exist in this space.
But it's weird because I probably don't know anything compared to like some people.
Yeah, I mean,
I used to build my own computers and stuff and I know how to do all that stuff.
That's
but
a
like,
big one.
Yeah, but kids nowadays.
Oh yeah, kids nowadays are
like
insane.
They just start using the iPhones and iPads like it literally is like a chopstick or a crayon or something. Like they're just like, I was born with this in my hand.
And you're like, wow. Yeah.
So we're gonna have cyborgs before you know it. But anywho, it's been great. It's been great to help people out. So that is my camembert, my fondue, and everything in between.
That's all of it. It's been lovely. But yeah, I just thought I realized that I was like, oh, I'm gonna start being like whatever that like warrior is for elderly people and just be like, no, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna get you the product that you want so you don't get bamboozled and sold a million other things. Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready to be a monster.
That should be like, I'm going to be your personal shopper for technology.
Yeah.
I'm your first and last line of defense. And I'm going to make sure you get what you need. And Lee's going to style you, do your makeup.
I don't need to do any of that if you don't want me to. I just want to make sure that you're not going to get a weird... No, because
you've done that before too. Like our friend Cyrus, he had to get, like he was going to for all these job interviews. And he's like, I'm probably just going to wear all black all the time.
And you're like, I was like, no, we're going to go to a store, you psycho.
And then he came back and he's like, you like compartmentalize his wardrobe. So like everything matched with everything.
I made it so it's easy.
And he was like, wow. Anyways, maybe that's what you should get into. Yeah. Maybe that's what we should get into. Making your life easy.
Tasks.
Hey, are you lonely and you have a hard time making friends? Just watch our podcast. We'll be your best friend.
Hey, are you consistently bamboozled by everyone in every industry? Okay, well, we're going to give it a go.
We're going to give it a go. Us too, but together.
Hey, we've also been violently screwed over. And because of that, we're ready to help.
The honest ones need to stick together. We can't promise anything, but let's give it one more go.
One more go.
What other choice do we have?
Honestly, cyborgs are coming in 8 to 10 years, and we got a fart pod to fill up. So we're just ready to go.
And Elon Musk is sending all our queso to Mars.
Oh, of course he is.
Do you want to get a melting pot?
Yeah, melt my pot.
Oh, yeah,
Melt?
baby. Melt that
my
pot.
pot, baby.
Okay.
Melt it.
All right, we're going to do some rapid fire questions.
I love this. Rapid fire? Are we?
I don't know. It doesn't have to be that
okay.
fast. This one is from me. I asked this. I'm asking
You
this
don't need to say that.
If you could be a giant sequoia,
okay,
a bald eagle,
okay,
or a newborn baby, what would you choose?
Oh my God. I feel like the obvious answer is an eagle.
Giant sequoia. Oh.
You're going to be a giant sequoia? They're going to cut you down.
They're not. No, they are protected.
Okay,
they're not going to cut down. They're the oldest, biggest
also,
trees.
I don't know if I have cognitive thought. Like
you do,
and
I you're
can
communicating.
Talk to other trees.
Yeah.
It seems like a pretty lame life, even though I'm beautiful.
Well, I don't think it's the same type of life. They're not worried about the dumb stuff we're worried about. They're like, hey, it rained again. That was pretty cool.
They're like, hey, I keep seeing Bigfoot and no one believes me.
yeah. Pretty windy last night.
Yeah. Huh?
I
lot of rain, huh?
got root rot on the bottom left, but
squirrels all up in my bowels.
So it's my 1000th birthday today.
Anyone? No one noticed. No one noticed.
Anyways, I'm at the top of the canopy now.
I'm gonna be a bald eagle.
But then you would perch on my arm, and I'd be like,
"Wait, hold on. Am I still with you in this scenario?"
Well, I'm a giant sequoia. You're gonna want to get high up so you can.
You're choosing giant sequoia?
Yeah.
Okay, that's insane.
I'd like to be a bald eagle as well, but
sure.
Bald eagles only live to be about 25.
That's fine. That's a cool life of flying.
A sequoia can be thousands of years
That's so tedious. Imagine the world that you get to see thousands of. I'm so over it. We already went through this, and humanity is destroying us again and again. I'd rather be a sick bald eagle.
Yeah.
I kill my prey. I protect the little guy. And I fly all day.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Also, I'm also protected. I'm also very protected.
Yeah. No.
You know?
Totally.
Probably gonna.
But there's a lot
Alaska.
to live up to. You know, you got to be like
that's so
the
real.
face of America and whatever America does, and people look at the eagle and they're like, "What are you doing?"
He's like, "Hey, not me. Hey,
hey, I'm all over.
Just
I'm
an
in
FYI.
Yeah.
It's like Grimace. You know, I think Grimace has a lot of ideals that are probably not adjacent to McDonald's. But I think that he's got to be a part of it because he's like a...
Grimace is a creep.
Grimace is a Gemini. Did you know that? Because Grimace's birthday was recently. They did a whole thing where it was like, it's Grimace's birthday.
I think Grimace is a convict who... Him and the Hamburglar have just been creating havoc for years. And there was a drink called the Grimace, and it got you messed up.
Yeah. What? Really? Mm-hmm. What was the Grimace?
Oh, it was just very purple and very alcoholic. I think it was just like a Long Island with some like purple something
with like grenadine and blue curacao, and then they're like, it's the Grimace, you're gonna be fine.
So wrapping up, I'd rather be a giant sequoia because I think there's too much pressure on the eagle. Whatever the United States of America does, not all of America, because Canada's pretty cool. Yeah. Mexico has their own eagle.
America.
No, it is America. It's North America. That's the continent.
Yeah.
They still consider themselves.
Do they really?
Yeah, because whenever we say America, everyone always comments, it's so crazy that Americans think they're the only people from America because North America is Mexico.
God, we really do, don't we? We really do, don't we? God, we really do.
So I was even like, what do I say? Because I'm I guess United States
of America.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Okay, that's the one. Okay, got it.
So yeah, I don't know.
All right, look,
I love a bald eagle though. I'd love to be friends with a bald eagle.
Well, I'm right here.
Yeah, so if I could sequoia and you could eagle, I'm not trying to be a baby, especially now. Elon's just gonna send my queso to Mars again.
Oh, I just don't want to be a baby because that feels like an exhausting journey.
Yeah.
Having to grow my brain again? No, thank you.
You grew your brain?
Oh, I grew my brain. I grew my brain good.
If you could have any skill right now that you don't have and is not related to the entertainment industry, what would it be?
Stocks and bonds.
Wow, not know.
Yeah. I'd rather know because that's something that's so elusive to me.
All you have to know is buy. Sell.
Buy, sell. Buy, sell.
Always be closing. Know your ABCs.
ABCs. Coffee is for closers.
Yeah. What's happening? The Glengarry leads.
I'm Glengarry Glen Ross. No, I think that would be something where I just want to know it because I don't know it at all. And then whenever I hear anyone talk about it, I'm like, sure. And it feels kind of like, that's just mythical lore.
Yeah.
So I'd rather know, like, that's the skill that I would rather have. I'm sure there's like other things of like archery would be cool. I'd love to know how to like rock climb because I love going into the, nature. But that doesn't behoove me in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, it's beautiful up there.
Oh, it's stunning.
I miss rock climbing so much.
There's a lot of like really amazing skills that I'd like to know. I've often thought painting because I have a lot of ideas and pictures in my brains of things that I'd like to create, but I just truly do not have the skill.
I hear that.
But no, I'm going to choose a weird, insane knowledge of stocks and bonds.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you. You?
And for me, that's a hard one. Like, because I have a lot that I would love.
You have a lot of skills already.
Well, I know, exactly. And that's kind of how my mind goes is like, it's my personality type. Like, I get very interested in something.
You get hyper fixated, yeah.
But there are some things that I know that I'll never be able to do. Like, for stocks and bonds, it's like, you can always learn that.
Sure.
Like, because you can always read. Sure. You can build that.
I can't.
Okay, well, I can, and I have been over a little bit of time, but like singing, for instance, like,
that's fair.
I'll never be able to just do that. I can sing on pitch or whatever, but I wish I could just be like...
Whose voice would you want? If you could like...
Freddie
Ursula...
Mercury, probably.
Ooh, it's a big one. It's a big voice. It's a big voice.
We're going to go for it.
Coming out of
Or what
this
if
guy.
I could just like... what if I could just like bust out, like, I look like me... But I have like the voice of like Whitney Houston or like Mariah Carey. Yeah. But I was like that good. Like that was my range.
Everyone's like, oh.
Like honestly, like for me, it's the guys from the 80s. Like the lead singer of Foreigner.
Yeah.
Or like, one of those like, why is he singing so high?
God,
like
it's so
like
high.
the lead singer of The Darkness. Like when that came, I'm like, I could do this. Like, or
like,
I'd want to. I can't.
Sure.
But like, I wish I could be like a countertenor.
In a weird way, it is kind of connected to your industry. So that's okay.
Yeah, so we're going to get rid of that.
Oh, no. Okay. But...
that would be a good one. The painting would be good too, but it's the same thing as like the first time I heard someone else, like when I was trying to learn the guitar and then I heard someone else do it and I was like, I'm out, dude. Like, I don't even care. Like the painting, like even that guy who was hanging out with us last night, my family friend, that man is one of the most incredible painters I've ever seen in my life. Probably the best painter that I personally know.
Sure.
And like,
yes,
he's Dutch and he can recreate like Rembrandt and stuff.
Seeing stuff ish.
Yeah, he's that
like, wow.
good. So I'm just like, I don't know. It's not gonna get there. And
I think you're putting a lot of like success pressure on it.
No, well,
like it's just
for
a
me,
skill.
it would be the skill would be being able to be like a hydropolyglot or whatever, to be able to know as many languages like fluently. Like that would be so cool. Like there's one guy on TikTok that somehow, and he's kind of a nerd, but like
we love a nerd.
He'll just be like, somewhere, and these guys will be like speaking Tagalog, and he'll speak back to them, and they're just like, what? And then it goes to like a crazy level. Like he's like in Senegal or something with these like locals, and he's speaking their language, and it's like, how did he learn this
like
stuff?
How does he know ancient Hebrew?
Yeah,
He just does.
He just does. Why? Well, his brain works that way, and as someone who knows a few languages, you start to realize how they all kind of relate, and so it gets easier the more you learn.
Yeah.
But it would be really cool, and like the accents, because like when I do it, they're like, oh, he's speaking the language, and it sounds pretty good, but it's not like the perfect accent.
It's like,
it'd be so cool if I could just be like, ni hao, ma hong hao shit, and just spoke perfect Chinese or Mandarin.
Sure.
And they're just like, he's like from here, and I'd be like, I am. And
I'm a
like,
hydropolyglot.
like, you gotta go.
And they're like, oh.
Okay, so that would be my.
I think that's a perfect one.
Okay.
That's great.
Quick. Mountains, beach, desert, or misty cliffs? You have to live
misty cliffs.
Like the cliffs of Moher, or like
Moher.
Yeah, like or a beautiful sea cliff. Like you could live, and this is your habitat.
Okay.
It could be like in Maine. It could be in Northern California. It could be up the
Big
PCH.
Sur.
It could be in Scotland, Ireland. There's lots of misty cliffs.
Misty cliffs.
A desert.
Gross. Get out of here.
No
Disgusting.
desert. The beach. Or the montañas.
The ocean absolutely terrifies me.
Yeah, but
the waves are very unpredictable. I don't love sand, and I'm very, very susceptible to the sun. So I think I'm out on. not that I don't love a visit. I love a beach visit.
Yeah.
But as an overall, I'm going to have to grease up all the time. There's a lot of cancerous products and a lot of different sunscreens now.
Oh, wow.
I don't want environmental cancer because I chose to live by the beach. I think I'm going to have to. It's between mountains and Misty Cliffs.
Yeah.
Misty Cliffs was a real, that threw me.
Yeah.
I don't know. That feels like I am immediately hearkened to my siren spirit being like, I probably am going to have Misty Cliffs.
I think so too. Or like the mountain cliffs, of like Big Sur area me too. It's like, I love the beach but after hearing and talking to you, it's like, we're going to have to get a divorce if I want to live on the beach.
Yeah,
but
that's just a fact. Sorry.
But also,
what happened? You guys were so in love.
I chose the beach.
Well, honestly, we're still in conversation. We talk daily. We're still very, very close to each other and in love and fond of each other. But he chose the beach. And
life's a beach.
And I'm very pale. I chose the Misty
so
Cliffs.
the problem is where I was born and raised, technically we were at the...
Why did you say it like Foghorn Leghorn? Born and raised.
Where I was born and raised?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We're technically at the base of the mountains. And so we would always be like, if you drive 45 minutes, you could be at the beach or you could be skiing. We were right in the middle. So mountains and beach are both very important to me. Yeah. So the idea of mixing them and getting the mountain beach, like the sea cliffs, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing it.
I love it.
I also really like this question, and I just want to know.
Oh, that's nice.
What color temperature is best?
Okay.
like in your ideal lighting situation, are we doing a bright white, like a courtroom?
Absolutely not.
A warm white where it's like just like very yellow, or
absolutely
like
not.
right in the middle.
No, I'm actually like very pro warm light. You know me, I won't do the big light. You always turn on the big light, and I'm like, turn off the big light.
Well, I don't
hate the
do
big
it
light.
on purpose.
I know.
I do it when I'm going in and out of a room.
Sure,
but you know how much I love my lighting.
It makes sense to turn on a light in a room.
Yeah.
But I violently hate the big light. I violently hate like blue fluorescent lighting.
Me too.
I saw something, and it still has stuck with me a while ago. I saw a woman that was like, she was on the edge. She was like, and we've all been there. I think every person has been there where you're just like, if one more thing goes wrong or if one more thing frustrates me. And she was in a CVS and she had all these makeups that she was like trying to figure out which one was her makeup color, but the lighting was so absolutely horrendous. Yeah. And I just remember her like taking like 15 different makeups outside of the CVS and like it beeping, it going off, the security guard being like, hey, what the fuck? And she was like, I cannot look at these in there. And I was like, I for a second I was like, that's crazy. And then I was like, no, I get it. Yeah. I fully understand. Yeah. You're at your wit's end and you're done. And
I'm like a 3750K kind of guy.
Is that what you are? Kelvin on the Kelvin?
Yeah. Well, that's what we're talking about.
Well,
color
of course.
temperature.
Yeah, of course. Sure.
But yeah, so I like, to me, actually, less light is better. Like my most. Yeah. I mean, I like it to be I like it to be spread out through the room, but like a good if it feels like a candlelight.
You want it to look like a cave. You want it to look like Game of Thrones.
No. I want it to look like an old attic that's lit by candles.
And demons.
No, it's a cozy.
I want you to be able to see a weird shape in the corner and be afraid that it's actually a ghost of a young boy. I want you to worry that you're grabbing hair in the middle of the night.
Well, no, you like it too. Don't be.
No, I know. But I will say that like it's a little.
You like warmer.
I like warmer than anything. But I don't know anyone that's like, give me the fluorescent light. No, I need it. I love it.
There's a few. Like we have a friend. It's like he loves LEDs, neons, and bright white. And I'm like, how do you do this? Like, you just leave it, and he's like, oh, yeah, I never thought about it.
How are your rods and cones, my guy?
Or, like, I'll be walking, like, somewhere in LA, and you look in through someone's window, and it's just like, what is that, a grow house in there? Like, how are you?
The most aggressive light ever.
Or there's people, like, I literally won't hang out with them anymore because, like, I went over to their house a few times and we're just sitting there and I'm like, can we meet anywhere else? Like, this is how you live your life? Like,
in the brightest white fluorescent light? It's tough.
Okay.
Why would we be so passionate about lighting?
All right. Maybe we'll finish on one more. Is that cool?
Sure, that's fine.
Would you rather be naked 24/7 or clothed 24/7?
Ooh, clothes 24/7?
Yeah.
That's a nightmare. Showering, you're like slurping it under your clothes.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be the same clothes, but you can't get naked.
I'm a very naked person.
Yeah.
So much to the point where I was a very naked child and I had to have a pretty like
serious
talk or two consistently because I was like naked when my like brother and sister's friends would come over. Like weird. The family had to literally be like, hey, we get it. You can't do that anymore. And
but is it like, what was it about?
Clothes are, I think they're overstimulating. I hate them.
These shorts. Whoa.
No, they touch everything on me. And like,
that's what I love about them.
There's certain thing. I know you do. I know we are so weird and different on this. Like, I hate like necklines will like drive me insane. I understand that now. I'm realizing later on in life.
But you wear so much jewelry. You wear so much.
But it's very specific. Like there's certain things
like
that I can't wear
like
at
wearing
all.
jewelry. That to me feels weird. I've gotten used to like watches and the wedding ring. But like that feels strange to me. But clothes, like this just feels like a hug that I'm wearing. It's very.
I don't want to be hugged. I don't want it. I love being hugged by humans, but I am very weird in that. Especially
you didn't like the weighted blanket either.
No,
like,
I panicked.
loved it.
I had a panic attack on the weighted blanket.
I loved it.
No, I think it's a very weird thing, but I understand truly. I'm sure that there's something that.
So, like, would you join like a nudist colony?
Absolutely, without hesitation.
But do you look at other nude people and you're just like, oh, we all agree that like clothes are lame, or like, and if you lived in the Misty Sea Cliffs. Are you going to be naked?
Oh, man, that's nice. I'm going to have to do a lot of tick checks. But I'm excited to be really naked in the Misty Sea Cliffs.
I think that...
I'd have an outdoor shower. I'd just blast it
Did
off.
you see that weird naked lady?
I would probably definitely be still wearing water socks because that's just the smart thing to do.
There's that weird couple. The lady's naked all the time and the guy's fully... He has so much
clothing. She's just wearing hiking boots and nothing else.
But they do seem to love each other.
God, they love each other.
He loves those clothes.
No, I don't know what it is, but like bras to me are so infuriating because they make you feel like you're going to have like a panic attack. They're just constricting everything about you. And then like clothes in general, I'm very weird in particular. If something's like, if some weird line is touching me or itching me, I'm like, get it off my body. So I get so, also, once again, if I feel like it's like a group effort. If everyone's going to be naked, I'm not going to be wearing clothes. I don't want to be the weirdo wearing clothes. If everyone's going to be clothed, I don't want to be the weirdo naked.
I'd be the weirdo wearing clothes and be like, "What are you guys doing?" I'm still that, but I don't want to be naked with everyone naked.
Clothes guy.
Listen, I love all types of clothes. Okay,
sure.
I've worn kilts. Sure. I've worn lederhosen. Mm-hmm. I've worn dresses.
You don't need to brag
Burning
about
Man,
clothes.
and I love all the clothes and how they fit nicely on me. And
if I could go without them, I would go without them every single day of my life. My goal in life.
But that's probably because you have like, you're like you're shorter.
Yeah.
And
it's impossible to find
like
things.
I feel like clothes were made for like my size.
It's not wrong.
Like. So therefore, I'm just like, yeah, this fits like a glove.
That's
Whereas
what I'm saying. It's like
yeah.
if I try on jeans, they're always like up to my titties.
What if they were custom clothes?
I think I'd still hate clothes. I don't like the restrictive feeling on my body. My goal in life, as you know, I will come home from like wearing a cute outfit. I love fashion. I love like looking cute.
Yeah, of course.
I still hate like the feeling of it on my body.
I love layers.
I'll immediately come home and put on the most gigantic t-shirt that I own. So it doesn't even touch my body. The favorite piece of clothing that I have, if we're burning building is happening, I'm going to get my like 4XL t-shirt that's like an eagle and it feels like butter on it. And it's a gigantic tablecloth of a shirt and I love it more than anything. And yeah.
And I'm going to get my sleep jeans.
Yeah, that's what you're going to do. Yeah. You're going to be like, I'm fully clothed. No, I get it. I understand why people would like it. But
I love going to climb. Like, I'm from Southern California, but it's like whenever I have to wear like shorts and sandals, I'm like, I just wish I could wear like some jeans and some layers and maybe some nice socks.
I'm ready for like just a gauzy dress outside. Wow. Also, truly, I'm ready to be in a nudist colony. I think that's like a weird retirement plan for mine. Like when I'm like 70 plus and not really giving a shit what people think.
Yeah.
Can't wait to be as naked as possible. You know?
I love that.
In my misty sea cliffs.
If you could bring one trend back from your childhood, what would it be?
I miss Pogs every day.
Oh man.
That was the height of my childhood was Pogs.
Yeah.
I really miss it. Yeah. I think I was really rolling in a really good time. And it was just it was a different time.
Yeah.
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 Sure, it might be ruined as an adult, but I miss Pogs.
I had a dream last night. In my dream, I was me doing my normal self.
Sure.
But I had all the cool old clothes I used to have when I was a kid.
Man.
And I had some sweet World Industries stuff.
Oh,
so I had
tough.
like the Wet Willie shirt, the Flamboy shirt, the Battle. I had the one with the.
You're bringing back skater clothes?
Just World Industries. And also the seatbelt belt buckle.
Well, we all know you're bringing that back because you already have one.
I never got rid of it.
Yeah.
I'm bringing it back.
I'm bringing back Pogs, and that's just a fact.
That's great. I'm down.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much. It might be a short episode, but we'll see
next
you
week will be longer. Maybe.
It'll be so long.
So long.
It's gonna be so
long.
long.
The longest one ever.
All right.
We love you.
We love you.
We are so grateful for you. Thank you again for all the wonderful people that have donated. You guys are just a little treasure in our hearts.
Yeah.
And stay stinky and
keep hanging out. And
keep hanging out. And I really am going to ask the question: would you rather be nude or clothed for the rest of your life? Because I'm curious to know if I'm the only one who thinks clothes are a prison.
You're not. There's a lot of people like that I know. I'm just not one of them.
I know.
I'm going to go put on some socks.
Okay, bye.